when another volunteer comes in with an orange shirt, okay, they're going to have a USB. They're going to give it to you, and you're going to put it on and load their presentation. Okay? You're going to put it on, take the PowerPoint off, and put it up on the screen. Put this thing in, put the presentation on the screen. So it's going to be on the USB. So you have to plug it in. We'll do it together. Judges, definitely. Their time cards. Thanks, guys. Yeah. Thank you so much. How are things? Do I have... That's everything.
Hi, Kyle. Good to meet you.
Good morning. I'm Sadika. Nice to meet you. Thanks for joining us. Nice to meet you. Thanks for coming in.
Good morning. I'm Chris Gordon. I'm facilitator for the Business Strategy Room for today. I'd like to introduce and welcome our judges for the day. Mark Whitley from EMCO, Kelly House, Scotiabank, Jane Button, Scotiabank, Greg Sauter, Saskatchewan Rough Riders, Ron Stiles from SaskTel, and Mohammed Torshisi, U of S. Immediately following the presentation, the judges will have 5 minutes to ask questions. The volunteer timekeeper, which is me, will be showing time cards throughout the presentation at 5 minutes, 2 minutes, 1 minute, and 30 seconds. During the presentation, no questions, comments, cell phones, or picture taking is permitted from the audience. You're only allowed to applaud following the question and answer period, please. The audience is banned from any material that bears any school name or symbol or colors from competing universities. And when we're finished, please, if you could exit immediately following the question and answer period. Team 8, just confirming, Team 8. Ready?
Technology is changing the way we do business today. All across the globe, we are finding new ways of connecting buyers and sellers through the use of technology. As a result, the need for middleman services is diminishing. Uber is replacing taxis. Amazon is diminishing the use of retail. So let me ask you this. Are you ready to adapt? Hi there. My name is Austin. I'm here today with my colleagues Adita and Kyle. And we're very excited today to talk about our recommended strategy going forward for you with your decision as to whether or not to purchase Borealis Auctioning. What we're going to do today is, first of all, tackle the issue of where you should focus your energy for growth. You are very keen on acquiring this business. However, we need to first focus on the strategy at hand moving forward with the business. This is what's ultimately going to be able to drive our motivation for the bank and ultimately let them see what this business can become. So how we're going to do that is we're going to do it digital. We're going to take the expertise that Borealis Auctioneering has, and we're going to use that and build an online sales platform for industrial machinery. What this is ultimately going to do for us is it's going to have an impact of $600K in profit by 2023, a 4.2-year payback period, and ultimately long-term sustainability, a business that you can run for the long term. So when we made our decision today, first of all, we need to look at who needs to be considered. First and foremost, the three of you are very young and aspiring entrepreneurs, and you're seeking an exciting new opportunity. Now, your eyes might be bigger than your appetite in this case, however, we don't think so, but what we want to make sure is that you are lacking some of the business expertise needed to execute this decision, and we want you to be cautious of this risk moving forward. Another key stakeholder in this decision is the customers of Borealis Auctioneering. They are reliant on that reputable service that Borealis has come to be known by, and we don't want to take away from that if we see new management in the company. Finally, Borealis management, they're becoming less active and they're looking to sell. This is kind of started to impact their performance, and we want to make sure that with the management that is retained, that we can still keep them in an active way, but ultimately leverage our expertise as we phase them out. So when looking at the situation today, a little bit of an internal analysis, the staff have approximately 85 years of combined experience. This is a huge strength of this company, and it's something that you need to utilize to its full potential in the acquisition. Also, as mentioned, current management is becoming less active, so there is an opportunity here to, as you phase them out, learn from them and maintain the success and the reputation that they've become to known by. Looking at the service, auctions only occur every 6 to 8 weeks, so there is quite a gap in when you conduct your business. They only have capacity for 2 appraisals per day. As well, they have a $300 line of credit for any acquisitions, which could be increased given their strong performance with their line of credit. Overall, what this is saying is we need to leverage the staff experience moving forward. This is crucial to success, as they are the ones who've created this reputation, and they are the subject matter experts with this business. Looking at an external analysis, first of all, our customers. We have primarily Canadian firms in heavy equipment and machinery. We are expecting more customers from the recession. As these businesses begin to struggle and look to get rid of their machinery, we are expecting more customers. However, this does provide a risk because as more customers are looking to sell, there may be less looking to buy. Out of the 70,000 potential buyers, we've only managed to make 1,000 active on our mailing list. So this presents an opportunity for you moving forward to really capture some of these potential buyers. When looking at the competition, Ritchie is the biggest player in the industrial auctioneering business. They have 60% market share in all operating markets. They're the titan of this industry. Looking at your other competitors, your main competitors consist of 36 small auctioneering firms, primarily in Ontario. And there also is no prevalent competitors in online auctioneering. So what we can see here is there's an opportunity to capture more competitors, but not just, more customers, but also to do that through online services. So the risks facing you today moving forward with this decision. First and foremost, over 60% of the assets with this auctioneering business are fixed. The recession may have a negative impact on business, as I mentioned. There may be more sellers in the business, but there also may be less buyers. And finally, this is a new line of business for the three of you. This is something you haven't done before, so we need to make sure that we mitigate the risks successfully with this implementation to ensure the success of the strategy. So when looking at the issues facing you today, first and foremost, we need to decide where do we want to focus our energy for growth. This is key. This is going to be the key driving factor moving forward, is to have a detailed and focused implementation plan for you to take to the bank in your upcoming meeting so that they know where this business is going to be and can see the potential for growth in this business. Secondary issues is obviously how you should approach the bank. Tackling those financials to ensure that it makes sense to the bank and that they're willing to help you fund this acquisition. And finally, converting those potential buyers into active buyers. I will now pass things off to Kyle, who will go through our decision analysis and recommendation.
Great, thank you, Austin. So you have a significant opportunity in your life right now. So we'd like to help you out with that.
So let's start with the first question. How can you purchase Borealis auctions and ensure success for your future going forward? So of course the first question is, should you buy Borealis or should you pass on this opportunity and look elsewhere to invest your money? Well, looking at Borealis, we do believe that the $500,000 price that the company gave to you is a fair price. We believe this because there is significant revenue opportunity and growth opportunity in this company moving forward, and I will talk about that a little bit in our financials a bit later on in this presentation. However, of course, as Austin mentioned, we do recommend that you move forward and purchase Borealis. So now that you will be purchasing Borealis, what should you do with it? So you can maintain the current level of service or stick with the status quo. They are doing a very good job. However, there are some risks inherent in the current marketplace, as Austin mentioned, so we don't recommend that you move forward with something like this. You can also scale up Borealis's current operations and expand a little bit further into the traditional auction marketplace. Or you can do something completely different and take this online. Take this to a new level and expand this out to new customers, new suppliers, connect a lot more people, and grow your business significantly. So let's take a look at what this means. We've evaluated these decisions on a couple different criteria, and the first one is, of course, financial feasibility. So can you afford to do something like this? Maintaining your current level of service? Yes. You've already indicated that you want to go out and secure a bank loan, and you do believe that you can do this. As well, you will be fronting around $200,000 in your own cash to invest equity into this company. So this is feasible. Is scaling up feasible, though, is the question. So this requires purchasing the company as well as investing significant amounts more money into connecting yourself with more customers without the help of technology. The next option would be, of course, doing it digitally. Doing it digitally means that you can connect yourself with a lot more customers and a lot more suppliers a lot easier on the internet. The next criteria, of course, is profitability. So is this going to bring you significant returns? We believe that maintaining this level of service is not going to bring you significant returns. You've outlaid forecasts for your profit, and it's just not meeting what you need this late, and you are suggesting that you will only take around a $30,000 salary for the next few years. This is not enough to pay for your family needs and your needs. So we need to figure out a way that you can make more money out of this company. Scaling up, yes. You can generate more revenue by scaling up a little bit more. However, if you do this digitally, of course, that lowers your costs and brings you significantly more revenue potential, especially in areas that you are not already geographically connected to. Next is ease of implementation. So of course, maintaining service is easy to do. It's already well done, and you can just buy the company, your management team is already good at what they do, and you can continue doing what you do. Scaling up, that's not quite as easy. This requires, of course, significant investment. This requires building those connections without the use of technology, and this is much more difficult to do. Doing it digitally, we have a yellow triangle there to emphasize that you don't necessarily have the skills right now to do this digitally. However, those skills are not hard to acquire. So you can do things like hire an intern to help you develop those skills, or you can learn those skills on your own, and this is something very exciting. Learning technology skills is a very exciting thing to do, and now is a great time to capitalize on that. So we believe that by learning those skills, you can implement this project easily. And next, longevity. So can this be successful long term? We believe that the only way that any strategy approaching Borealis can be successful long term is by doing it digitally, because many companies around the world, as Austin mentioned, things like Uber and Amazon are going digital, and this is the way to keep an edge up on the competition. So we believe that going forward, you should be going digital with Borealis and making those connections with technology. So let's talk about how Borealis can be at your customers and your suppliers' fingertips. So we recommend that you would be developing a new website for these auctions that would allow suppliers to post for free their item on this website, and then you would be able to monetize this strategy by charging a commission. So you would be doing online bidding, something similar to eBay. You would run a pilot program in Ontario, since this is the largest market for this type of industry, and you're located there and your expertise is in Ontario. Next, you will be reducing your costs by storing the inventory that is sold online on that seller's property. So you don't need to take that extra inventory and put it in your property like the one that you own in Owen Sound. As well, just like Amazon, we would like to follow a model that has been proven in a very successful company, you'll be booking shipping through third-party organizations. So if any of these machinery needs to be shipped to a location far away, then you can set up a long-term contract and partnership with a third-party organization. And as well, the big benefit to using the internet to facilitate these auctions is that this is going to draw more customers, and if it draws more customers, more people are going to want to sell with you. So let's talk about the big deal here. Is this going to make you money? So we can see on this graph that on the y-axis we have dollars, we have thousands of dollars, and then on the x-axis we have time going out to 2023. So approximately 9 years. So we can see that revenue generation starts in 2018 for online profit. So online profit is the red line, and then overall company profit, so traditional sales plus online profit is the black line. So we are recommending that website development will cost approximately $150,000 in the first year, so we are splitting that in two, $75,000 for each year. So we can see that you're going to have a negative profit for your online business in the first 2 years. However, you're going to realize positive profit right away in 2018 once online revenue generation starts. And then moving forward, we can see that your investment totally, one, purchasing the company for around $500,000, and two, investing your money into this new website development is going to be paid back in first quarter of 2021. So that's a payback period of around 4.2 years. So let's look at some of these costs a little bit deeper. As I mentioned, website development, $75,000 for each of the first 2 years. We are recommending that you hire 2 employees to, one, help manage this website and manage the new influx of customers and suppliers. That's going to be around $80,000 for each year. And then moving forward, you're of course going to have to maintain that website as well as pay for any improvements that you could expect moving forward. That will be around $5,000 a year. We recommend, of course, that you indicated that you will be supplying in total around $200,000 cash into purchasing the company, and then you will be approaching the bank for another $300,000 in debt. Additionally, to pay for the web development, we are recommending that you approach family and friends to see if there's any chance that you can get any additional funding on this, as this is a high return opportunity. And then, if need be, approach the bank to see if you can increase a line of credit or use an already existing line of credit to spend the additional capital required for this website development, although it will be low. So the key takeaways here is that by the 2023 annually, and you can also, as indicated, you wanted to sell or IPO your company within the next 7 years. So we are estimating that the company can be sold or IPO'd at $5 million in 2023. So I've told you what we believe that you should do. So now Adita will tell you how you should do it.
Thanks, Kyle. And thank you, entrepreneurs, for joining us today. I would just like to reiterate how excited we are to have you here with us. We believe you have a tremendous growth opportunity in front of you, and we believe if anyone is going to do this, you are the ones who will be able to. As entrepreneurs, you're agile, you're willing to learn, you're ambitious, and so this means that what you will be doing is building a complementary service that will help to differentiate this business from its competitors and achieve success in the long term. So how you're going to do this is by capitalizing on the connections that this business already has. Connections with new customers and the employees that you will be managing. In terms of technology, as you know, we've recommended a website and app development to facilitate sales, and you're also cutting out the other middlemen, which will help you to move ahead in this industry. In terms of prosperity, you're lowering costs for customers, you're lowering costs for yourself, which will overall help to benefit you in the long term. And so what that means in the short term is that you're looking at preparing the valuation and strategy for business operations. Just for the ease of understanding, these are all listed in the order of implementation. So as I mentioned, the first is evaluation, making sure that the bank understands the value in this company and that the future value that you will generate through this recommendation. And that means negotiating terms with Borealis Auctions as well, making sure that you can contract key employees, make sure that the founding managers stay on to help you through this transition process, and making sure that you do your due diligence to make sure that you're able to acquire all their contacts, things like that. You're meeting with the bank after that, making sure that you're able to communicate all this value to the bank and making sure that you're able to secure the loan. Potentially here also implementing some sort of contingencies to make the bank more comfortable. So we would recommend against a personal guarantee, but perhaps something like a higher interest rate if need be, you would be willing to pay. You're also, at this time, securing the necessary equity from your friends and family, from your personal savings, as you've already indicated, as well as the loan from the bank, and hiring legal counsel to make sure that due diligence is carried out, and purchasing Borealis. In terms of marketing and HR, you're developing a communication plan and launching and beginning to launch that towards the end of that first year to make sure that your customers know that this upcoming online platform will be available to them and making sure that they understand the value. Picture this. Put yourself in the shoes of Bruce. He is one of your purchasers. He now doesn't have to come down to your site. He can stay at home. He has access to the auction from his fingertips on his mobile phone or on his computer. And bonus to that, he doesn't have to pay as much commission and you don't have to pay as many costs. It's a win-win for everyone, and we believe that this will allow you to generate more active users and purchasers. So the key performance indicators for this term are $300,000 in loans and the equity secured, as well as communicating the changes to company employees. Because this will be a big transition for everyone, you need to make sure that you're implementing change management strategies, such as town hall meetings, ensuring that the employees know that their jobs will be secure going forward and that they will have a place in your company with you. In the medium term, you're developing the website online platform. You're also launching the pilot beta in Ontario and generating feedback from the users to make sure that it is as user-friendly as possible. You're developing an app from the mobile devices if this is successful, and then gradually reducing debt as well. So perhaps selling the land that you have at this point, or restructuring the company in a sense to reduce your expenses and costs. In terms of marketing and HR, you're launching the marketing program that I mentioned, so whether that's advertising through magazines, on your own website, or going to trade shows to promote this, we believe you should be doing that at this term, hiring 2 new employees to help you out with all of this, and incorporating less costly motivators, so tying pay to performance through bonuses, perhaps issuing shares rather than financial benefits. Things like that. So key performance indicators are launching the online platform and generating more active buyers, which our target for you is 1,500 by the 3rd year. So in the long term, you're focusing on further expansion. That is the rest of Canada and perhaps Eastern US. You're also improving the online platforms, seeking further efficiencies. In terms of marketing HR, improving your search engine optimization, and if need be, hiring more people. Again, continuing change management, and how you're measuring this success is, again, active buyers, 3,500 by year 5, revenue, 7.5 million by year 5, which we believe both are feasible, and decreasing costs as well. And so there are some risks that need to be mitigated, but they have been through the implementation. If you do have any further questions, we would love to address those in Q&A. And then further considerations we have thought of could come after year 5. So again, if you do have any questions, we'd love to cover those with you. And so I'll pass closing statements back off to Austin.
Thanks, Adita. So what we've done for you today is we've created a new network for the industrial machinery business. We've used technology to connect buyers and sellers all across Canada, specifically on Ontario, and ultimately reduce the role of the middleman in this industry. What this will do is it will lead to prosperity not only for the buyers and sellers, but for your business. It is an opportunity to help everyone succeed, and everyone can prosper from this. And what we'll ultimately do in the end is $600K profit for your business in 2023, a 4.2-year payback period, and long-term sustainability, a company that you can take and run for a long time. I'd like to thank you very much for the opportunity today, and I'd like to open up the floor to any questions.
What is your expectations in terms of competition online and your competitors being online, and what does that do to your business plans? Is that a risk?
Yeah. So right now, currently within this industry, there's not a lot of direct online competitors. Most of these auctioneering companies are based. They do it in person. It's all across Canada. So. There is risk definitely that this process could be replicated. However, there's always that first mover advantage, and that's what we really want to capitalize on with your company. Being the first company to take this website online, and how this differs from any other sort of like eBay or another online auctioneering site is that you will have the expertise to value these products and really understand how they work and be able to use that knowledge to connect your customers.
One of the risks to an online strategy is that this is big equipment that needs to be inspected to make sure that it's in working order. People want to touch, feel it, look at it. If you're doing everything digitally, how are you going to overcome that reluctance from a potential buyer?
For sure, so I can take that if you just, there we go. Flip to the next slide. So a couple of criteria we would like to have presented online is for buyers to be able to see the machine model and conditions. So things like age should be listed, things like recent repairs or the repairs that need to happen should be listed. Number of machine hours, original purchase location, and current location should be listed as well. This will give customers a general sense of the quality and the condition of the product. It's something like the Black Book value of cars online that you can search. It'll give you a general idea. There could then potentially be the possibility for buyers to allow sellers within a certain time frame to come view and inspect and accept the condition of the equipment, but that will be dependent on the buyer's preference, or sorry, on the seller's preference. And then as a contingency, having some sort of insurance or satisfaction guarantee to mitigate that risk.
How do you intend to finance your growth strategy?
Yeah, I can take that. So we can back up a little bit here to the finance side. So as stated, the information that we were provided suggested that you would be willing to front $65,000 each in cash for equity in the company, so that works out to $195,000 total. And then approaching the bank for a $300,000 loan is what you indicated. As well, of course, for website development, we're talking about around $150,000. So there is cash available in the company if needed. It's $25,000 in cash and cash equivalents, so that can be put towards website development and any other investments, as well as approaching family and friends for any additional cash. You can source from a large amount of family members, so this could be small investments from a lot of people and then providing a good return back to them. And then again, further, there is a line of credit that is available in the company, as well as potentially taking lines of credit out yourselves. So moving forward, of course, this will provide a good long-term investment, and that's how we plan to finance the.
Do you have a recommended dividend policy for the company?
Right now, we are recommending that you take dividends and reinvest any retained earnings and reinvest into the company to provide a good platform for future growth. And then eventually, when strong online profits take off, then we recommend taking out a dividend for yourselves as owners.
As this plan requires a lot of the existing owners' core competencies and contacts, what is your strategy to ensure that they remain engaged? And that they remain committed to assisting you with this plan?
All right, so as I mentioned, that is something we'd like to see you address in the short term. Before the purchase even happens, so making sure that you're able to put that in writing. Essentially making sure that the 2 founding members stay on for the 3 years and the part-time, making sure that they are intrinsically motivated per se to remain with you. So making sure that they're staying active in the roles that they would like to be involved with, and making sure that they still see the value and are aligned with your vision moving forward.
Questions, judges?
Thank you, team.